on the set. Can we please have quiet on the fucking set? Monday Night Raw, June 18, 2018. It was booked. It was played out. And now we're gonna talk about it. And action! This begs the question, was that so hard to fucking do? Was that so hard to do, WWE creative? Give Sasha Banks an actual fucking story. And a good story, as we learned back in the Attitude Era, drags out more than one segment. That's what they did last night. Finally, Sasha Banks gets to own a show. Over 4 different segments for Sasha Banks last night. Starting with Sasha Banks rewatching her match from Money in the Bank and wondering where she went wrong in the locker room. And Bayley comes up to say, hey, let's put aside our differences. Let's be buddies again. I'm missing a Bayley buddy out there. I need you to be one of my Bayley buddies. Basically. And Sasha's just trying to get her away. Let me just watch my match. Let me just fucking, but Bayley's like, no, we can be buddies. We can eat cheesecake together and talk about how mid-card we are in WWE. And she's not realizing that Sasha Banks doesn't want to associate herself with mid-card talent level fucking wrestlers on that roster. She wants to be the best. And she literally stands up and says, you don't get it. I just want to be the best. And Bayley says, I do get it, Sasha. You don't get it, Bayley. You're the one who went on Stone Cold's podcast and said, I'm okay with everybody getting the championship because I think everybody should get a shot at it and should get it and should experience it. And everyone deserves it. That's Bayley's actual way of thinking in real life. Now, also in real life, Sasha Banks legit wants to be the best in this business of all time. So even though in real life, they're real good friends, maybe even best of friends, there's also this just happy-go-lucky, I'm just glad to be in WWE wrestling. I don't really care about the championships or any of that. I don't care where I'm at on the card. That's really Bayley. And then there's Sasha Banks, who also is happy to be in WWE, happy to be wrestling. But she legit wants to go down as the best. She knows that the accolades she accumulates will help her always be remembered as such. And she'll do anything it fucking takes to do that. Last night, that's why I believe in this story, Bayley and Sasha. I fucking believe this. Because I could see it. It's reality playing out on WWE television. And vice versa, you could look at it. I like it. And the way it was done the first time was starting to go in the right direction. A big WrestleMania payoff match. Unfortunately, they scrapped it and they started looking at, oh, maybe we should kind of just fuck around with it. We'll drag it out and make it look like they are friends one week, but there is dissension amongst the ranks. And then another week, maybe there's huge dissension. At one point, we even seen them brawling against each other, leading up to WrestleMania. But the ultimate payoff was a Monday Night Raw match. Because at WrestleMania, they were just involved in a battle royal. So the payoff was 1 or 2 Monday Night Raw matches. We never had an ultimate payoff. That long 2 to 3 month build between Bayley and Sasha was just for a couple of Raws. Last night, I seen them with a sense of urgency. They kicked this into high gear. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to get to fucking Ronda Rousey being booted from WWE for 30 days. I'm going to get to fucking Dolph Ziggler. If I told you Dolph Ziggler just won the IC strap last night against Rollins, would you believe me? I'm going to get to that as well. I'm going to get to fucking Roman Reigns, the big dog, the big dog, the big dog, the big dog. Yes, Michael Cole, the big dog. I'm going to get the Braun Strowman in his lunchbox, but there's no way I can kick this off without talking Sasha Banks, man. Again, 4 different segments. The first one was just to set up an, okay, I'll be friends with you again, Bayley. The second segment, the actual match between the Riot Squad and Bayley and Sasha. And I love how this was done right from the beginning. There was dissension between Sasha and Bayley. Right from the beginning, Bayley was trying to protect Sasha in her bad back, basically petting her like a pet. You stay there. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you stay there. We'll give you a treat after the match. And Sasha's like, I'm not your little fucking pup. I'm not a baby of yours. I'm a fucking legit boss. I am the best in this business. You don't understand me, and now you're going to, because I'm not playing around anymore. That was Sasha's expressions last night. And after the match, the Riot Squad actually beat Sasha and Bayley. It was Sasha Banks actually getting pinned by, who was it? Was it Liv Morgan? So Sasha Banks gets pinned by the fucking Riot Squad. It was at that moment where I said, something better happen right now, or I am fucking done with this shit. I don't know how Sasha just doesn't walk out. I understand you're part of fucking WWE, man, and you get to fucking wrestle, and it's everything you fucking love. But at one point, you have to look at your employer and say, now they're fucking with me. Wherever you want to work, guys, wherever you may work right now, maybe you love it, right? It's the job you've always wanted, or a job that you like. It's a job that you don't mind going to. You're actually good at it. But if your boss and your employer doesn't respect you and just kind of fucks with you every day, would you want to be there? So it was at that moment when she lost against Riot Squad last night, I'm like, listen, I don't care about fucking being scripted. I don't care about doing what you love. You might have to go to somewhere else, man, because now they're just shitting on you. You should have won Money in the Bank. You didn't. You just lost against the fucking Riot Squad. Something needs to happen right now. Thankfully, I thought they were going to commercial break, man, because you had the Riot Squad going up. You had Michael Cole with some bullshit like, there's dissension. Don't know what's going to happen now with these two. And you're thinking, oh, they're going to drag this again because they got nothing for Sasha. And especially nothing for Bayley. And no, when the music stopped, they were in the ring, and Bayley goes to turn around Sasha, and Sasha says, no, get off me. Sasha goes to walk away. Bayley goes to turn her around again. I said, get off me. Not now. Sasha goes to turn around. Bayley does it again, and Sasha Banks chucks Bayley right on her ass, just flattens her with a legit push. And Bayley goes down on her ass, and Bayley's stunned, like, really, motherfucker? And Sasha's like, I told you, not now, leave me alone. Just written all over her face, man. Sasha Banks jumps off the apron. Now we got a little bit of the boos from the casual fans, right? The younger fans in attendance, those type of just casuals, even the adults that are casual. They now are acknowledging Sasha as a little bit of a heel. You just threw down your partner and best friend Bayley. How dare you do that? That's good. When you can get the casual fan to start booing you, now we're doing something right. Now the seed is really planted for the heel. Sasha starts walking up the aisle pissed off, and Bayley is stunned in the ring. But we're not done. There's a third segment. And Sasha's in the back. She's walking backstage, and you have Bayley chasing her down. Sasha, I'm not done with you. And Sasha's not turning around. So finally, Bayley catches up to Sasha and says, Sasha, I'm not done with you. Sasha turns around. Well, I'm done with you. And I'm done with this. And not now are we going to do this. Sasha goes to turn around to walk off. Bayley turns her around. And did she like go to fucking almost like a fucking spear, right? Bayley just dives into Sasha, starts wailing away on Sasha. Sasha starts wailing away back on Bayley. There's catering all around, so fucking Sasha's throwing trays of food at Bayley. Bayley tries to get the upper hand on Sasha. Sasha somehow is able to get the upper hand back on Bayley. We got a brawl now. A brawl/food fight between Sasha and Bayley. But this was a lot more real. That was like that locker room brawl they had before WrestleMania. But this had an even better kind of story rig to it. So I like this one even more. There was that sense of urgency with this one. Like Sasha has really had enough. And Bayley has really had enough. Which Sasha having enough. So this is really like, this was much more. The locker room one just did seem like just two friends that were just having a spiff. Two friends that are just having a little bit of a fight. This one seemed like two friends that are done with each other. That was really good to see, man. So Sasha and Bayley have a brawl after the match in a third segment dedicated to Sasha and Bayley. And then there was a fourth segment. Sasha Banks is outside at this point, guys. She's about to go. She's in the parking lot. She's about to get in her vehicle, and she's just gonna drive off. She's still in gear and everything. She's like, "Fuck this shit. I'm so done with this that I don't even need to fucking shower and change right now. I'm just fucking getting the hell back to my hotel." And Bayley catches up with her again, saying, "I'm not done with this. I'm not done with this. All this shit." And Sasha's like, "I'm done with you," basically. Gets in her car, drives off with Bayley just shocked. Like, we're seriously not going to talk about this? Bayley grabs like a fucking soda or water bottle, some shit, chucks it at the back of the car while Sasha's driving off. So Bayley's really upset, and you can tell that Sasha is legit done with this friendship. That's how you fucking book a storyline, first of all. And secondly, that's how you give your top-rated female a top spot in story. Was that so hard to do, creative? Over a fucking year, Jimmy rigging this woman. Sasha fucking Banks, of all people, the best female talent on the fucking roster, some would say, I would say. And if not, it's in your fucking top 3, right? With Charlotte, or you could throw in a fucking Ember or fucking Naomi if you want. But Sasha Banks is at the top of my fucking list. And you yin-yang her, and you give her 50-50 at best. At times, it's fucking 40 good, 60 fucking bad booking. Rarely does Sasha Banks ever get more than one fucking segment. Sasha was all over this show. That was so good to see. With a Dynamite story. Yes, we are rehashing the Bayley friendship story, but at least we're doing it the right way this time. And I feel that they could have an ultimate payoff. Bayley, Sasha, Extreme fucking... We don't even gotta wait Brooklyn SummerSlam. Let's go Extreme fucking Rules, put a fucking specialty gimmick on them, and let them just tear the fucking house down. But put them on a fucking pay-per-view, not a Monday Night Raw. I would love to see the strap on the line here. You got a fucking rematch with Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, right? Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax's rematch. So if we're not going to have the title, because that's at Extreme Rules, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss. If we're not going to have the title on the line between Bayley and Sasha, let's have a stipulation, right? That the winner gets a fucking future title shot. I honestly feel it's going to be fucking Ronda at SummerSlam. But let's put something on this, man. Let's make this Bayley-Sasha feud and match something special this time. But that's in the future, man. I'm at least going to give props where it is due. They finally gave Sasha Banks the time of day last night, and she took that ball, and she's still running with it. She never gave that ball back. Props to Bayley as well, man, for knowing her role and playing that correctly, man. Hopefully this ups Bayley as well. I still think there's more to Bayley than we've seen as well. But this was really about Sasha Banks for me, man. That was so good to see her in 4 different segments. And finally, we got the wheels in motion. So now we'll move on, right? If you're, I know we got several hundred new subscribers to the channel within the last week and a half. So, in case you haven't figured it out, this is a very pro Sasha Banks channel, guys. Some call the BC Amplified channel the Banks Club channel. But we're very pro Sasha Banks. So, you know, we're very amplified when things aren't going the way they should be. And when they are, you know, we're going to speak good about it as well. So that was really good with Sasha Banks and Bayley. We're going to move on now. Also to the women, guys. I want to stick with the women for a second here. And Monday Night Raw kicked off with Alexa Bliss demanding that Kurt Angle hand her the championship in some little ceremony. So Kurt Angle's just like, here's your championship. That was it. And Alexa Bliss goes on a promo about how Nia Jax is going to suffer the same fate at Extreme Rules. And she goes on about how she became the champion the night before at Money in the Bank. This brings out a pissed off Ronda Rousey. Kurt Angle gets in the middle of Rousey and Angle. Kurt Angle gets in the middle of Rousey and Alexa, and this allows Alexa Bliss to talk a lot of shit. And Alexa Bliss is going off about how Ronda Rousey is overhyped and she's an overhyped rookie. And those were the last words that Alexa Alexa Bliss has spoken before Ronda Rousey totally flipped out, shoves Kurt Angle aside, and just attacks Alexa Bliss. Takes her down with... It wasn't even a spear, man. That was that one arm hook takedown. Alexa drops flat on her back. Ronda jumps on her, starts throwing side bows. Kurt Angle separates them. Ronda Rousey flips Kurt Angle over. Chucks Kurt Angle just flat on his back. Goes back to Alexa, grabs the briefcase, starts wailing away, and I use wailing away loosely. Ronda Rousey was very easy on her briefcase shots. She needs to lay into it a little more, but she's still fresh in this business. She's green. She doesn't want to just start fucking beating the fuck out of her fellow fucking wrestlers. Kurt Angle, kind of a fellow wrestler. But you don't want to just beat the fuck out of your peers in just your second real fight or going into your third fight. So I think Ronda was trying to be, hold back a little bit, but somebody's got to tell her, you can wail away, man. These are professionals, and if they get some bumps and bruises the next morning, too fucking bad. But Ronda was a little light with those briefcase shots, but I like how the camera was shaking at least, so it looked a little more fucking vicious, I guess. But either way, the illusion is supposed to be Ronda's beating the fuck out of Alexa with the briefcase. I liked it. Then Kurt Angle a third time tries to pull her away, and Ronda starts wailing away at Kurt. Wailing, I use that loosely again, to Kurt Angle. Just starts throwing the briefcase right at him. 6-7 shots with the briefcase to Kurt Angle. Not devastating, but shots. Kurt Angle just has his hands in there like, what the fuck? This woman's gone mad. And referees come in. Ronda Rousey starts beating the fuck out of referees, guys. Fucking kicks, punches, destroying every motherfucker in her path, and she walks to the back with purpose like a badass. I knew what was going on here. She's taking a little 30 days off. I think she's going to film a few things, but she also wants to take some time off. I mean, this woman has been doing nothing but training, rehearsing, doing promo work for WWE. And this is someone who's not used to that, and she's been doing it. Every single date that she's been asked to hit, she has hit every one. She has not missed one day for WWE. We just see her on her 2 matches, WrestleMania and Money in the Bank, those matches. Guys, she's doing a lot more. She is doing continuous training and rehearsing, and just, if you knew the promo work she's doing, like, she fucking finally just said, hey, and maybe it was Vince who said, hey, you take 30 days off. Honestly, this may be Vince saying, hey, you have to film these couple of projects anyway, take 30 days, we're not going to need you for now, you just had your second match, SummerSlam will have you come back and go for the title again. That could have been Vince. But where I'm going with all this is when she got to the back, Kurt Angle caught up with her and said, I don't even know what to do with you. I have to suspend you for 30 days. Ronda Rousey officially suspended for 30 days from WWE. I think that's the right way to go. Because what else were they going to do, guys? Have her come out on the broadcast table for 4 weeks in a row? Because she's not going to fight at Extreme Rules. We all know that. So you're not going to have her on broadcast or just leave her off TV so people forget about her. The best way to do this is to suspend her. That was fucking awesome. And in doing that, you booked her the way she was supposed to be booked. Finally, Sasha's being booked the way she needs to be booked last night, and Ronda Rousey was. Ronda Rousey, whether you loved her or hated her, or didn't think she was deserving of the accolades or not, or you thought she was overhyped or not in UFC, she was a legit badass. She was beating the fuck out of people in seconds over in UFC. She comes to WWE, you need to build on that. She is a real-life ass kicker. She needs to be booked as such. Not just fiddling around with mid-card talent for 10 fucking minute matches like she can't beat them. No. I think what happened is we tried to appease that fan base out there that's kind of like, Ronda's overrated and she doesn't belong here and she has to prove herself, and we tried to please them. And in doing such, we booked Ronda Rousey kind of poorly. No, that last night is how you book Ronda Rousey. Whoever is in her way, man, woman, or fucking child, you're getting chucked out of the way. Every motherfucker that steps in my way is gonna get dropped. That's how you book Ronda Rousey. I loved it last night. And the suspension, beautiful. I forgot what it was, guys, but I remember Brock Lesnar. A pay-per-view didn't go his way or something happened. at one pay-per-view a couple years ago, and Brock showed up the next Monday, the following Monday night, which was the next night after the pay-per-view, and he wreaked havoc on everybody. I think he even F5'd Michael Cole, and he got suspended because we knew Brock Lesnar was going to be off TV for 30 or 60 days. Now that has become the normal, but we knew that he wasn't going to be a part of any action for a month or two at least. So they suspended him, and they did that by making Brock look like this devastating motherfucker, like a hurricane, like a fucking tornado that wrecked everything in his path. And I love that's the way to be suspended, because you did it in a way that when this motherfucker comes back, people are going to be like, oh fuck, he's back. Well, last night they did that same type of story with Ronda Rousey. So now that when she comes back, if they weren't doing it before, they're going to do it now. They're going to stop and say, oh, there goes that woman. She's a bad woman. She's going to wreak some havoc like a fucking tornado. That's Ronda fucking Rousey coming at you. That's what we're going to stop and say. Maybe not all those words, but we're going to know that a devastating tornado has just entered the arena. I loved the whole angle last night. She even picked up Alexa Bliss to end it. Before she walked off, she slammed Alexa Bliss through the table that was holding the championship strap for the ceremony earlier. But Alexa Bliss took a devastating table shot by Ronda Rousey before Rousey finally allowed everybody to live and walked up the staging area. But again, Kurt Angle ended up suspending her. I loved the segment, and I loved the way she was suspended. And before she ended up leaving, Renee Young tried to catch up with her for any comments. And Ronda Rousey, I forgot her exact words, but she said, I will be back to take out that little pink-haired, or I'm going to kick that little pink-haired girl's ass or something. I loved it, man. That's Ronda Rousey. I'm coming for that pink-haired girl's ass. Or I'm going to kick that pink-haired girl's ass. Something, man. It was awesome to see Ronda Rousey booked that way. And when she comes back in 30 days after Extreme Rules, let's continue to book her that way. I see a triple threat going on here, man. I see no matter what happens with Alexa and Nia, I see Ronda Rousey joining the fray because she deserves that rematch. She won the match at Money in the Bank. Right? That was a DQ, but she still won. So she gets another opportunity. I see a triple threat match. Nia, Alexa, and Ronda Rousey. So that was fucking done brilliantly. You had... Where else do you want to go with this? How about... Seth Rollins? Let's just do that, right? This was all still in the first hour, guys. So Ronda Rousey, that happens in the first segment. Seth Rollins is taking on Dolph Ziggler. This is for the IC strap, but none of us are thinking Dolph is actually going to win the IC strap. We are thinking Drew McIntyre is going to get involved, a DQ. So Dolph Ziggler saves face, Seth Rollins keeps his strap. Everybody's happy. This ends up being Dolph Ziggler defeating on a roll-up, the same way that Seth Rollins defeated Elias, which was on a roll-up at Money in the Bank. You had Dolph Ziggler defeat Seth Rollins on a roll-up victory and new Intercontinental Champion on Monday Night Raw. During the first hour, Rollins drops the strap. If I would have told you that, you would have called me fucking Bonkers McGee. Because that would have been fucking a Looney Tunes statement, a bullshitted statement. But no, that's actual facts. Ziggler became the new Intercontinental Champion last night. He defeated Seth Rollins fair and square, and Drew McIntyre didn't do anything. Nothing at all, guys. He got up on the apron once or twice. Okay, it was not enough of a distraction for Seth Rollins to lose that match. I'm sorry, it wasn't. McIntyre never laid his hands on Rollins. McIntyre never even stayed up on the apron for more than 3 fucking seconds. Seth Rollins allowed himself to turn around too many times, and on a roll-up you're going to lose? Ziggler, man. And in the backstage, they had a little bit of an interview segment, and I like that as well. This is where Ziggler said that when are people going to realize everything we say is not just for promo, it is the truth. We will back up everything we say. McIntyre looks at Ziggler, looks at, who was it, Renee Young, whoever it was, and just says, this is the first of many titles to come. And Ziggler's like, you can have your catchy little, phrases on your t-shirts, burn it down, the big dog. And when he said the big dog, McIntyre gave out a big laugh. I wouldn't mind seeing in the future Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, because that would be some friction, man. They just look like they would have chemistry and legit beat the shit out of each other. Now, I know what I said in yesterday's video, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Money in the Bank. I said, at this point, people should be running away from Roman Reigns, because if you're in the ring with Roman Reigns, the match is going to get shit on, which means you're going to get shit on. So Roman Reigns is basically like herpes right now. Let's stay the fuck away. But McIntyre and Roman, that kind of intrigues me, man. I think they would literally have good chemistry and beat the shit out of each other. But anyway, that was a fun little tidbit from that backstage interview. But when it was all said and done, the bottom line is Seth Rollins loses his strap, drops it to Dolph fucking Ziggler. Who would have thought? I'm feeling some type of way about this, because if you're going to drop it, and even if you're going to play flip-flop booking, because Seth Rollins invoked his rematch clause for next Monday night. Not at Extreme Rules. They could have a rubber match at Extreme Rules, but the rematch is going to be next Monday night. But even if you're going to flip-flop the titles, even if you're going to 50-50 book this, I would be more okay with Elias, right? And starting that at Money in the Bank. But instead, they're going with Dolph Ziggler. So in that way, I'm kind of like, eh. But on the other hand, it's good to see Dolph getting some accolade. Dolph has not been living under a rock. Dolph still has all that talent. They just don't know what to do with him. And for some reason, the last year especially, he's not connecting with the audience. You know, and I think this McIntyre connection that he's got has given him some life back and in the industry and in WWE and in this character. But was it enough to get the championship? I'm not sure, because when he won that championship, there was the initial shock, right? We were all shocked. The audience in attendance was shocked. But then after like a minute, not much of a reaction. It just makes me beg the question, was that better with Elias then? Even if Seth gets it back next week. Because Elias last night, he was in a weird segment. He was just doing a fucking concert song about Brock Lesnar and about how he's the best. The whole song was about how... Oh, I forgot the whole phrase, man. I can do anything, maybe? I can do anything. I think he just kept saying, I can do anything. And he kind of taunted the crowd a little bit. He said he's ready for Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle, give him a match. So that was all that. Elias gets beat at Money in the Bank. And then the next night, he's not even pissed at Seth Rollins or anything. He's just singing a song about Brock. That was weird. It was almost like they wanted to, because it was a roll-up at Money in the Bank, guys. Seth Rollins rolled up Elias. You thought there was going to be continuation. Instead, they just dropped it. I think this was a last-second call by Vince McMahon. It said, you know what, let's put Dolph and McIntyre up in this role. We'll put Elias, we'll just do something with him later on. Let's just have him talk about Brock Lesnar. The whole thing is strange to me. But whether it's weird, strange, whether you love it or you hate it, the bottom line is there is a new IC strap holder. And that was in the middle of the first hour of Monday Night Raw, man. Who would have guessed? I did mention... What do you want to go with? Fucking... It's RR. Braun Strowman? You want to go there? Let's go with Braun Strowman in his lunchbox. Braun Strowman comes out with his fucking lunchbox last night. I told you guys, this doesn't look right. I had some fucking idiots. I forgot where it was. Not some, man. It was one fucking idiot. He's like, really? You complain about creative booking and they finally give Braun some creative booking and you complain about how he's going to look with the briefcase? That's exactly what I'm saying. That's not creative booking. Putting the man that we all expect would win Money in the Bank or any match that he's put into, Braun Strowman, to climb the ladder and retrieve the briefcase, that's not creative. That's the one guy who fucking didn't need that briefcase. And on top of that, yes, I'll say it a million times, he looks like an idiot with a briefcase. Because no monster that I know of in the world, growing up as a kid or right now as an adult, no monster carries a briefcase to work. Looks like a lunchbox. His mommy just gave him his fucking tuna salad sandwich, his juice box, and she even put in a little cookie today, and she sent them off. Bye, Brawny. Have a good day at school. See you when you come home. Bring home your homework. Bedtime 7:45 tonight. Big day tomorrow. Fuck that shit. That ain't no monster of mine. No. That is a guy with a briefcase showing up to work. Fuck out of here, man. This looks silly. He's got to cash in pronto, man, ASAP. The second Brock Lesnar shows up, Brock has to cash in. That's it. And at least I think he said that last time, right? He said the second I get my hands on Brock Lesnar, that's it. Or the second Brock Lesnar shows his face, some shit he said, I'm cashing in. So he came out and said that. I hope so. This guy cannot hold this thing for 10 months. I'm sorry. The way they booked this fucking guy, I have no fucking idea. In 2 months, you're going to see this guy with a briefcase in one hand and Nicholas over his shoulder sleeping because he's tired. Nicholas in one hand, the briefcase in the other, and I'm going to be, that's our monster? This guy's a fucking clown. It's a freak show. I love Braun Strowman, but you do not book him like this, man. If I'm Braun Strowman, I'm going to Brock Lesnar's house. Hey, you never show up, so I brought a referee to your house. Kind of cool, right? Let's do this. Don't worry, I talked to Vince. You're going to get a payday out of it, right? And beat him right in his kitchen. Right on the kitchen table, pin him. 1, 2, 3. But hopefully Brock isn't doing his own match with Sable on the kitchen table, because that would be, you don't want to knock on the door and let's see if he answers, right? That's a different type of pin on the kitchen. I'm not going to, all right, that's enough. Where else you guys want to go, man? We covered fucking Sasha Banks. We covered Ronda Rousey. Covered Braun Strowman. What was the... Can I just say, just in a comedic way, guys, Bo Dallas last night. Curtis Axel, first of all, did an amazing Matt Hardy. They were up on the Tron because the Wyatts, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy were taking on Heath Slater and Rhino. Obviously, they won that match too, by the way. The kiss of deletion, I believe they call their move, whatever it is. But before the match, up on the Tron, you had Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. And Curtis Axel was dressed as Matt Hardy, and he did an awesome imitation. And then you had Bo Dallas doing an imitation of his brother in real life, Bray Wyatt. And it was actually pretty decent, too. And so they cut the promo on it. Bo Dallas says, oh, screw this. Maybe he said at Extreme Rules or whatever the fuck. He said, we are going to take those championships off of you. And Curtis Axel stayed in character, and he kept being Matt Hardy. And Bo Dallas is like, what are you doing? It's over. So they end their promo, and when they end their promo, Bo Dallas cups this little light that he has, trying to be like Bray Wyatt in his light, his lamp. And it's a little click lamp, so you have to hit it and it turns off. Everybody got a laugh out of that. I heard a huge laugh from the audience. I fucking cracked up at home. And then they didn't leave. They didn't know what to fucking do. So they were like, what do we do? What do we do now? And they're like, do we just leave? And they're like, no, slowly go down. So they go down from the fray. They didn't know how to leave the camera. It was this B team is hilarious, man. It's half creative giving them some shit, but I think it's also Curtis and Bo being free to just be funny. Have some fun. And in the ring, we know Bo can go. We know Curtis ain't no schlump. It's good to see them with a run right now. I don't think they should be the ones to take the straps off of Wyatt and Hardy, but I think this is great for their careers, and it shows that they're not only good in the comedy role, but they can be a legit threat in the tag division. Even though they're a comedic act, they can beat you. I like this, and I'm going to like when they finally get it on brother versus brother, Bray and Bo. And Curtis and Matt Hardy obviously added on to it. I'm intrigued for this match because I like both tag teams. But that was just a funny segment between the two. Also last night, and we went over Elias. Can I just say Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns last night looked the most comfortable he has ever looked on that microphone. Last night, it was almost like Roman Reigns just did not give a shit about anything, about what the crowd thought about him. He just was fucking there was the arrogance, but he just looked comfortable. Reigns goes out there last night and says, he wants to take on Brock Lesnar. He thinks he should be the one. Because Kurt Angle said that he is going to start announcing names, and at Extreme Rules, there's going to be a multi-person match. Didn't see that coming. And the winner will take on Brock at SummerSlam. So Roman Reigns felt that he deserved to be that guy. This brought out Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley said, for 3 years, I've watched you attempt, Roman Reigns, I've watched you attempt to beat Brock Lesnar He actually said that. He said, I watched you, Roman, try to beat Roman Reigns for 3 years. But he caught himself a little bit, and he corrected himself, and he got better. But that was a big flub on Bobby Lashley's part. So it was weird. I bring that up because I don't like mentioning botches or anything, but I bring that up because Bobby Lashley was stuttering last night on the mic. Roman looked really fucking cool, calm, and collected. And he was just like, I don't know. It was like the roles were reversed. I know Bobby Lashley's never big on the microphone, never was great on the mic. But it was funny to see the roles reversed. And this brought out the Revival. And the Revival goes on this promo about how they're the best tag team in the WWE and they're going to fucking take this opportunity to show everybody by beating Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. The Revival is not going to beat a paper bag and a fucking fruit cup. But they're going to beat, not with the booking that they've had. In NXT, they could beat fucking probably all the tag teams. Not here. They're not going to beat Bob Lashley and Roman Reigns. Come on, man. So they go on a promo, and Roman Reigns made me laugh last night. I can't believe I'm saying this. But Roman Reigns was like, yeah, are you the greatest tag team? Are you going to beat us up? Yeah. He starts mocking them. Hilarious. Even a huge part of the audience in attendance laughed at that, man. You could tell they didn't want to. They want to hate Roman Reigns for many reasons, but even they laughed at that shit, dude. I cracked up. Roman was fucking funny on that, guys. Let's give the fucking devil his due. That was really good. He looked so comfortable on that mic. This brought up a tag match, Revival versus Lashley and fucking Roman. Obviously, the Revival cannot beat them, and they didn't. I think the ultimate pinfall was Bobby Lashley got the pinfall out of one of the fucking two fucking dipshits. But this was Lashley and Roman Reigns to win the match, and this was just to show, like, they're going to be two of the forces, two of the names in the Extreme Rules match. Who's going to go on to take on Brock? So that was Roman Reigns' segment as well. Jinder Mahal defeated Chad Gable. That was really sad to see Gable used in this way. I had real high hopes for Gable going over to Monday Night Raw. And I thought his character was going to be redefined, and they're going to make something special out of him. He didn't just lose to Mahal. And again, this was odd for me because I'm a Mahal fan. I love Jinder Mahal, and I love Chad Gable. So it sucks seeing them in there together because you know one has to take the fall. But not only did Gable take the fall, when they came back from commercial, Jinder Mahal was coming down the ramp to his music, and JoJo was just like, and his opponent, I'm doing a Bobby Lashley flub, and his opponent already in the ring, Chad Gable. That's how he was announced. Already in the ring, like a fucking jobber. And then obviously Jinder Mahal defeats him as well. So this was obviously Vince McMahon throwing Jinder Mahal a bone. We had you take the fall for Roman at Money in the Bank, so go out there and get a W. I just didn't like seeing it at the expense of Chad Gable. He deserves a lot more. Also, who got a little bone thrown to him by Vince McMahon because he was non-existent in the Money in the Bank men's match at Money in the Bank, and that was Bobby Roode. Non-existent. I cannot tell you guys one thing Bobby Roode did in that Money in the Bank match. I can't even remember him even being in the match. So he goes out there and he has this huge victory over Curt Hawkins. So Curt Hawkins' losing streak continues, and Bobby Roode has this big victory, right? Big victory. So, trying to show you that Bobby Roode is still fucking this big force in WWE. But is he? That remains to be seen, man. Mojo Rawley got a victory over No Way Jose. No Way Jose already in obscurity. I told you guys it wasn't going to take more than a month. I was correct again. Nobody gives a shit about a fucking conga line or somebody like No Way fucking Jose. Because all he is a knockoff of Adam fucking Rose. Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud. And we already saw that didn't work either. So obviously No Way Jose is not going to fucking work, man. Mojo, shit. Just like Bobby Roode was non-existent in the Money in the Bank match, Mojo Rawley for the past couple of months, non-existent in WWE. He had some ailing injuries here and there, yes, but you gotta put him on TV, man. Otherwise, they just get fucking thrown into obscurity. What else do we want to do? Strowman we already went over, right? Oh yeah, the main event. That's it, right? Fucking A. We talked about Braun. We didn't go to the main event, though. So Braun went out into the ring, and he cuts a promo, I think. This brought out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens ends up telling Braun that they should work together, and we can use each other. We're not going to be friends. I'm not going to fucking bullshit you, but we can use each other. And Braun, he goes to shake Braun's hand. Braun shakes his hand, but doesn't let him go. He puts him up into a huge power slam, but Kevin Owens is able to escape. Later on, Kurt Angle is talking about to Finn Balor and the constipated Corbin. I mean, what is it? Constable Corbin, not constipated Corbin. Constable Corbin. And Kevin Owens shows up. So now you have Kurt Angle talking to constipated Corbin, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor. And Braun Strowman shows up. So I see where this is going. They're going to make some silly main event with constipated Corbin and Owens versus Balor and Strowman. And sure enough, that's what they did. So the only thing is, who wants to see that in our main event? You watch a 3-hour plus show, and the best main event you can come up with is constipated Corbin and Owens versus Strowman and Balor? Like anybody gives a fuck about that match? But that's what they did. I'm not even going to call this match decent because nobody wanted to see it. And in the end, it gets even worse. A 3-hour plus Monday Night Raw WWE show after a big pay-per-view ends with constipated Corbin with his hand raised in the air. Because constipated Corbin defeated Finn Balor. Great to see Finn Balor's career on the rise. Constipated Corbin with a huge W. Because Stephanie McMahon will love hearing about that, right? We fade to black and Raw goes off the air. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. As much as I was not a fan of the main event or the way Raw went off the air in some silly matches like the Mojo No Way Jose matches and things like that, I'm looking at all the good here. And that Ronda Rousey segment was badass in the way she should be booked. Giving several segments to Sasha fucking Banks and even Bayley, man. That's the way Banks needs to be booked. So I'm taking away the plus on that. A little bit of shock and awe with Ziggler capturing the IC strap. Whether we like it or not, whether we think that's the good booking or not, because I don't, it was still a good little shock and awe moment, man. To remind everybody, because Vince likes to do this, that anything can happen. But Ziggler, the title changes hands, man. So there was a lot of fucking newsworthy shit coming out of this. But there was just way too much filler as well. If we could have taken out some of that filler, put in some more main attraction type shit, storylines that we give a fuck about, a real build toward Extreme Rules, I would have been much more happy with that outcome. But again, beggars can't be choosers. We got a lot of good stuff last night. Now we go on to SmackDown tonight and we see what they produce for their first show post Money in the Bank and their first show to hype up Extreme Rules. We'll see what the boys and gals put on tonight. That's going to do it for me for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this motherfucking review reaction. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, man. We're getting a whole bunch of new subscribers. It's really a cool, fun time going into SummerSlam season to have all you new guys and gals on the channel. So much love and respect to all of the Amplified unit who has been here from day one. You guys, man, tried and true. You know the deal. Lots of coffees, and we're going to kick a lot of ass today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for SmackDown's review and reaction. For now, the Amplified man, he's cashing the fuck out. And for now, we'll check you.